Okay, thank you very much. It's a privilege to share with you some of the water efficiency initiatives that we have employed here at Hotel Andaluz. Hotel Andaluz is located in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in downtown, and we're right off of historic Route 66. The hotel is on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's also a official Albuquerque historic landmark. The hotel was built by Conrad Hilton. It was his fourth hotel that he built, and you may not have known this, but Conrad Hilton was actually a native New Mexican. He was born and raised in San Antonio, New Mexico. So it was a big deal for him to build this hotel here, his first hotel outside of Texas. And for many years it was the tallest building in the state. It also featured the latest in hospitality amenities. Well, in the late 60s, when the popularity of Route 66 began to wane, the Hilton chain sold the hotel. And during the following years, the hotel changed ownerships quite a few times. And in 2005, the hotel was in bankruptcy, and that's when our company, Goodman Realty Group, stepped in and we purchased the hotel. We closed the hotel in November of 2005 and began a major renovation. The hotel has not even been open a year now. We opened October 2009. It was a 4-year, $30 million project. And we performed a complete upgrade of every hotel system. And we blended the latest in sustainable strategies with historic preservation. Really, our goal was to make this hotel one of the most luxurious, sustainable, energy-efficient historic hotels in the country. And we are currently pursuing LEED Gold certification. We are in the middle of our submittal process right now. Well, prior to our purchase of the hotel was called La Posada de Albuquerque, and last renovated in 1983. So you can imagine a hotel that hadn't been touched for 22 years when we purchased it. And so all the water fixtures, water usage was from the early 80s. So there was plenty of room for upgrades and improvements as far as we were concerned. La Posada Hotel had 3-gallon per flush toilets. You see here a photo of most of those toilets. By the way, we recycled all the porcelain. The hotel also had shower heads that used on average 5.5 gallons per minute. That's quite a bit. The faucets used on an average about 4 gallons per minute. Irrigation system was not efficient. We are in a downtown location, so we don't have much landscape, but we do have some street trees. And generally the water just pooled up in the tree bowls, and eventually it ran down the street, down the sidewalk. And the HVAC system was still from the 50s, so it was very inefficient. The cooling tower wasn't efficient at all. And the average monthly usage for this hotel, which was 114 rooms, was 1,030,000 gallons. Well, we purchased the hotel, as I mentioned, in 2005 and began our renovation. This is a photo of the hotel after the renovation. And as I mentioned, there was plenty of room for improvement. And the first location that we chose to look at was our toilets. At Andaluz, we decided to use dual flush toilets. And these are by a company called Caroma. They're an Australian company. There's a few reasons why we decided to use these toilets. First of all, if you're not familiar with the dual flush toilets, you can see, if you look closely, on top of the lid, there's a raised area. There are 2 buttons there. One button is for half a flush, which is 0.8 gallons. That's for liquid waste and paper. And the other button is for a full flush, which is 1.6 gallons, and that's for solid waste. Now, some of the reasons we had to use these toilets was, number one, the rough end of the toilet, which means basically the distance from the pipe that the toilet sits on to the wall. And in the 30s, the standard distance from the wall to the pipe was 10 inches. Today, the standard distance is 12 inches. And we could not find any high-efficient toilets that could accommodate a 10-inch rough-in. Thankfully, the Caroma toilet has an adjustable sleeve that adjusts between 10 to 12 inches and every measurement in between. And so that was one reason why we had to use these toilets. They actually worked out very well. As you can see, too, the base of the toilet is smooth, so it works out well for the housekeepers as they clean it, and they're efficient with time. Another reason that these toilets were beneficial for us is because at the time, our local water authority was offering a $200 rebate on high-efficient toilets. And these toilets met the criteria. And after the toilets were installed, we received a $23,000 credit on our water bill. So we haven't paid a water bill yet since the hotel's been open in October. Another benefit for us to use these toilets. Well, another avenue for savings was the shower heads. It's not something you might want to talk about with a luxury high-end hotel is a low-flow shower head. Guests expect a luxurious full shower. But these shower heads that we found by a company called Oxygenics really provide a very luxurious feeling full shower. And as you can see here by the example, there's a couple factors that contribute to this full feeling. First of all, it pressurizes the water, so it increases its velocity as it's moving through the nozzle. And then it has intake ports that allow oxygen to be mixed with the water. So ultimately, the feeling is a very full, rich shower, and no idea that it is low flow. The lowest flow shower heads that Oxygenics had in the model that we purchased was 2 gallons per minute, but that certainly is a savings from the previous hotel, which was 5.5. And we've had no complaints at all about the showers and really seen a great result in our conservation of water as a result. Another obvious avenue would be our low-flow faucets. As you can see, this is a photo of one of our bathrooms in the hotel. And those faucets, the lowest flow aerators they had are the 1.5 gallon per minute. Didn't come with that standard. We had to order them separate, but they are installed and certainly helping to contribute to our water savings. I mentioned that we don't have much landscape. We do have 6 street trees, and we did choose to put in this high-efficient Rainbird irrigation system. It delivers the water right down to the roots. So it really helps to conserve water because it's delivered just to where the tree needs it. But it also helps our sidewalk because now the roots are encouraged to grow down, not looking for water on the surface. And so for many angles, this has been a real benefit to us. A few of the other avenues where we've chose to conserve water, we definitely upgraded our HVAC system. And certainly the cooling tower that we have now is a big plus, allowing us to conserve a tremendous amount of water. We're also planning and engineering a rainwater capture system. It's not in place today, although it is in design and moving forward. We're in a downtown location. Space is at a premium. So we had to coordinate with our city, the city of Albuquerque, to use the adjacent parking structure to the hotel so we can house our 3 2,500-gallon cisterns to hold the water. And so the city has agreed to allow us to do that, and right now we're working out those details. This will be in place in the next month or two. It'll be used to water our street trees. It'll be used to water all the indoor landscaping and also for some janitorial purposes. And Heidi mentioned this next point, which is the water service in our restaurant. We have trained and continue to train our service staff to not just pour water continually for the guests that are dining. Our goal is to, by the end of the meal, that their water glasses would be close to empty. Certainly we don't leave them without water if they would like water, but we're definitely conscious about this, and the guests are as well. We promote ourselves as a sustainable hotel. Here's a comparison from La Posada. The average, we took our water bills that we had from the La Posada Hotel. And we've only been open, as I mentioned, since October, and we have our bills for Andaluz Hotel. You can see a tremendous amount of savings. It's unbelievable to us. On the right-hand side, we see the La Posada monthly average was over 900,000 gallons a month. Hotel Andaluz, we're at 277,000 gallons right now. And again, we don't have our rainwater capture system in place, and that should help as well. So our monthly savings average is close to 650,000 gallons, and it's really tremendous. We continue to look for ways to conserve water, but this has been a big deal for us. We didn't anticipate having such great savings. But here in the high desert in the southwest, it's very important to us. I quickly worked the numbers from Terry's presentation. It looked like, if I did my calculations correct, we're using about 30.3 gallons per square foot. So I think that's below his numbers. We don't have a spa, we don't have a pool, and as I said, we don't have a tremendous amount of landscape. But I think that sounds like pretty good numbers. Thought I'd tell you a little bit about some of the other sustainability initiatives at the hotel briefly. Here's a photo of one of our rooms in the hotel. We have a building automation system. Each room is hooked up to the system. When the guest checks into the hotel, the receptionist will turn on the room. At that time, some mood lighting is turned on. The HVAC system is then turned on. And so by the time the guest gets to the room, it's comfortable, there's some lighting, it's welcoming for them. And then each room has a heat sensor and a motion detector. And it knows when the guests have left the room, it'll shut the lighting off, and it'll shut the HVAC system to a deep setback mode. So we really conserve on energy in that way. Another item on the hotel is our solar thermal system. This is a photo of one of the rows of solar thermal collectors on our roof. We have 73 of these panels. 60% of our domestic hot water, which is for all of our guest rooms, laundry, and our restaurant, and our main kitchen, is generated by the sun. The heat is generated by the sun, and this is just working tremendously. Here we have over 310 days of sun in Albuquerque. Even when it's below 30 degrees out this winter, these solar panels were heating our water up to 140 degrees, and then ultimately it heated up the domestic water to about 110 degrees. We have a 4,000-gallon tank situated on the roof of the hotel, which has been there originally. We just converted it as a thermal storage unit, and that maintains its temperature 24 hours. When it was 30 degrees out and lower, the degrees in that thermal storage went down about 5 or 10 degrees. So it's a very efficient system, saving us tremendous amounts of money with our gas. So if you come to our hotel and decide to take a shower, you can be comfortable knowing that you're saving water, but also the hot water is being generated via renewable source, the sun. Thought as we close out here, I'll just show you a couple comparisons from the 1939 lobby, the original Hilton Hotel, to what we have done. Looks a lot the same, except for some contemporary touches that we've incorporated. It is a historic preservation project, and we recently received our approval from the National Park Service on the historic preservation component of the hotel. Here's a guest room, one from 1955, and another photo of a different guest room in the hotel today. And the hotel was built with 3 of these rooms that have these, what we call here in the Southwest, Kiva fireplaces. The 1955 room, you notice it has a parquet floor. And the room on the right side is our penthouse suite. And as a matter of fact, back in the day, Zsa Zsa Gabor and Conrad Hilton spent the night before their wedding in this room. We used to call it the Zsa Zsa Gabor suite. So the hotel is continuing to do well in many aspects. Last week, we just won the Lifestyle Hotel of the Year award. We beat out a new Four Seasons hotel and a new W hotel. We continue to look for ways to be more energy efficient and certainly conserve water. And so if you're ever headed to Albuquerque, please consider staying at Hotel Andaluz. Thank you very much.